My greetings to everyone. I am Professor Namita Rajput, Professor in Department of Commerce, Sri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. Today in the ongoing series of entrepreneurship and new venture planning, today we are going to discuss a very interesting topic, that is generating the business ideas and the team building. Now, creating an entrepreneurial venture plays a very critical role in driving the economic growth and innovation. Entrepreneurs transform the ideas into the business that create jobs, solve the problems and deliver the value to society. However, building a successful venture requires more than just a good idea. It demands a combination of a specific skill, personal qualities and a supportive environment. Entrepreneurs needs to be respectful and resilient, capable of navigating the uncertainties and the risk associated with starting a business. They must possess a very clear vision of their goals and the ability to execute their plans effectively. Now, skills such as the financial management, marketing and negotiation and the leadership, they are very essential in turning an idea into a viable and sustainable enterprise. Entrepreneurs must develop a business plan that outlines their goals, target the market revenue model, and the strategies for overcoming the challenges. Access to resources such as funding, mentorship, and a strong network can significantly impact the success of a venture. It involves identifying the opportunities in the market. Now, this means recognizing a gap in the market, responding to unmet customer needs, or introducing something innovative. As Joseph A. Schumpeter highlighted, entrepreneurship often entails doing the new things, creating the unique products, adapting the novel processes, exploring the untapped markets, or reshaping the industries. Similarly, Peter F. Drucker emphasized the value of innovation and creativity in enhancing the potential of existing resources to make them more valuable. Now, coming on to the factors to consider while creating an entrepreneurial venture. Creating an entrepreneurial venture requires a balance of creativity, strategy, and responsibility. These factors are not only determine the success of a business, but also its contribution to society and economic progress. Entrepreneurs must focus on the following factors, what we are going to discuss to build the ventures that are both profitable as well as meaningful. So, let me discuss the first factor called innovation. Innovation involves bringing the new ideas, products, services to the market to address the unmet needs or improve the existing solution. For example, Elon Musk, Tesla redefined the automotive industry by popularizing the electric vehicles, and Amazon transformed the e-commerce through advanced logistics and the delivery systems. Entrepreneurs should strive to innovate by understanding the customer needs, leveraging the technology, and staying ahead of the market trends to create the unique value propositions. The next is your problem solving. Successful entrepreneurial problems, identifying the gaps in the market or inefficiencies in existing system, it provides an opportunity to develop the impactful solutions. For instance, Muhammad Yunus Grameen Bank introduced the microfinance to help the people in poverty start the small business and improve their livelihood. Entrepreneurs should aim to address the challenges in the ways that make a tangible difference, ensuring their business are both practical and meaningful. The third factor, which is considered very important while creating an entrepreneurial venture, is your social impact. Entrepreneurship is increasingly linked to the social responsibility, ventures that address the societal challenges while generating the profits which tend to resonate with the customer and the communities. Blake Mycoskie Tom Shoes exemplifies this by combining a one-for-one model with profitable operations, providing shoes to those in need for every pair sold. The entrepreneurs should consider integrating the social impact into their business models, as this will align with the growing demand for ethical and the purpose driven business. The next important factor is your job creation. Starting a new business often leads to a job creation, which is vital for economic and social stability. Small and medium sized enterprises, that is, we call it as SMEs, are particularly important in generating the employment opportunities across the various sectors. Airbnb, for example, started with a simple concept and has since created the jobs for the host, employees, and the service providers globally. Entrepreneur should design a scalable venture that contribute to employment growth and support their communities. The next factor is your economic growth. Entrepreneurship drives the economic growth by fostering the innovation, increasing productivity, and introducing the new industries. Entrepreneurs who bring transformative ideas to the market not only disrupt the traditional models but also stimulate the economic development. Tesla and Amazon are the prime examples of how entrepreneurial ventures can revolutionize the industries and contribute to the global economy. Entrepreneurs should focus on identifying the opportunities that enhance the market efficiency and promote the sustainable economic progress. Creating an entrepreneurial venture requires a balance of 1. Creativity, 2. Strategy, and 3. Responsibilities. So, creating an entrepreneurial venture requires a balance of all the three, that is creativity, strategy, and responsibility. So, by prioritizing the innovation, addressing the problems, and considering the social impact, fostering the job creation, and contributing to the economic growth, entrepreneurs can build the ventures that succeed in the marketplace while making a positive difference in the world. The next is your market research and the customer understanding. A deep understanding of the target market is very essential. Entrepreneurs must analyze the customer behavior, preferences, pain points, and the buying patterns. For example, Zomato succeeded by understanding the Indian market demand for the convenient food delivery and the restaurant discovery. The next factor is your business model and the value proposition. A clear, scalable, and sustainable business model is the foundation of a successful venture. Entrepreneur should define how their venture will create, deliver, and capture the value. For example, Netflix, it transitioned from DVD rental to a subscription based streaming model, aligning with the digital consumption trends which are contemporary. The next factor is your financial planning and the resource management. Proper budgeting, capital allocation, and funding strategies are extremely vital. Entrepreneurs should ensure the efficient use of resources and maintain the financial discipline. For example, bootstrapped startups like Zoho, they prove that effective resource management can drive profitability without external funding. The next important factor we are going to discuss is your risk management and resilience. Entrepreneurship involves the uncertainties. Entrepreneur must anticipate the risk, market, operational, regulatory, and develop the contingency plans. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many small ventures pivoted to the online platforms or home delivery to survive the disruptions. The next is your technology adoption and digital presence. Embracing the technology enhances the efficiency, scalability, and the customer engagement. A strong digital presence is very crucial for visibility and growth. For example, Nika leveraged the digital payments and analytics to personalize the customer experience and scale rapidly. The next factor, which is very vital in terms of the factors to consider while creating an entrepreneurial venture, is your legal and regulatory compliance. Understanding and complying with the legal requirements, licenses, tax regulations, labor laws, data protection ensures a smooth operations and avoid the penalties. For example, fintech startups must follow the strict RBI guidelines to ensure the trust and the legal compliance. The next is your team building and leadership. A motivated, skilled team is a venture backbone. Entrepreneurs should hire the talent that shares their vision and foster a collaborative culture. For example, Infosys attributes its success to the strong leadership and employee development. The next is your branding and marketing strategy. A strong brand identity helps differentiate in a very crowded market. Strategic marketing ensures the customer acquisition and also the retention. For example, Amul's consistent and creativity advertising has kept it relevant for decades together. Next is your customer service and the feedback loop. Providing excellent customer service builds the trust and the loyalty. Regular feedback allows the business to adapt and improve. For example, Swiggy constantly updates its app based on the user feedback, improving the usability and the satisfaction. The next is your sustainability and the environmental considerations. Modern consumers value eco-conscious brands, incorporating sustainable practices which can attract support and reduce the operational cost. For example, Bare Necessities is a zero waste company that uses the biodegradable packaging and the ethical sourcing. Successful entrepreneurs are known for their special qualities that help them lead their companies. They see the world as always changing, think about different options, and direct their organizations in the right direction. Following are the essential traits of the entrepreneur who aim to create the successful ventures. The first is your vision. Entrepreneurs have a strong and a clear idea of what they want to achieve. This idea or vision helps them make the decisions and stay focused on their goals. For example, Steve Jobs had a vision of making the personal computers easy for everyone to use. His vision for Apple led to making of the products like Macintosh computer, iPhone, which changed the technology industry into a more personalized state. The next is your resilience and persistence. Challenges and the failures are a natural part of starting and running a business, but successful entrepreneurs do not give up. They stay strong and keep trying even when the things go wrong. For example, Thomas Edison failed the thousands of times while trying to invent the light bulb. So instead of giving up, he said, I have not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways that will not work. His determination led to one of the greatest inventions in the history. The next is your risk taking. Entrepreneurs are not afraid of taking the smart risk because they know that big success often comes with the challenges. They carefully think about the possible outcomes and take the bold steps to reach their particular goals. For example, Kiran Majumdar Shah, the founder of Biocon, started her business in a small garage with a limited capital and resources. So here, determination and belief in her vision helped her overcome the challenges and build one of the India's leading biotechnology companies. The next important factor is your creativity and innovation. Successful entrepreneurs use creativity to come up with the new products, services, or the ideas. Thinking in the new ways helps them solve the problems and stay ahead of others in the market. For example, Walt Disney used this imagination to turn the simple cartoons into a worldwide entertainment company. His ideas led to the movies, themes, parks, and merchandise enjoyed by the people all over the world. Adaptability. The business world is always changing. They are dynamic. So, the entrepreneurs need to adjust to the new trends and the market conditions to stay successful. For example, Netflix began a DVD rental service when people started watching more shows and movies online. Netflix switched immediately to an online streaming platform. This helped Netflix become a global leader in the entertainment. Next is your leadership and the team building. Entrepreneurs inspire and lead their teams to work towards the shared goals. They create a positive workplace and encourage the employees to do their best. For example, Jeff Bezos built the Amazon by bringing together a talented team and promoting a culture of innovation and the hard work. This teamwork helped Amazon grow into a successful company. The next is your financial literacy. Managing money is very important for any business. Entrepreneurs need to understand how to handle the finances, make the budgets, and invest wisely to keep their business running successfully. For example, Warren Buffett became one of the richest men in the world by making the smart investments and managing the work very carefully. His discipline with the finances helped him achieve the great success. The next important point is your customer focus. Successful entrepreneurs really understand what their customer need, what time they need, and they work hard to give them the best experience in the world. This focuses help build the customer loyalty to the deepest possible extent and makes the business very, very successful. For example, the Howard Schultz, the former CEO of Starbucks, they focused on creating a welcoming atmosphere in the coffee shops. This idea helps the Starbucks grow into a global leader in the coffee industry. The next is decisiveness. Entrepreneurs make quick and firm decisions even under the pressure. This helps them avoid the delays and keep the business moving forward. For example, Elon Musk makes the rapid decisions across his companies like Tesla and SpaceX, which keeps them innovative and competitive. Next we have is the opportunity recognition. They can identify the gaps or the demands in the market and act quickly to create the products or the services that fulfill those needs. For example, Narayana Murthy recognized the global demand for IT service and co-founded Infosys, making India a key player in the global IT sector. Next we have is a networking ability. Successful entrepreneur builds the strong relationship with the others that can lead to partnerships, mentorship, funding, or the customer growth. For example, Richard Branson used his strong networking skills to grow the Virgin Group into the multiple sectors. Next we have is the time management. Entrepreneurs handle many types of tasks at once. So managing the time wisely is a key to achieving their goals. For example, Indira Nooyin, the former CEO of PepsiCo, balanced a very hectic schedule while leading the major strategic changes within the company itself. Now, the next point is your learning orientation. Great entrepreneurs are always leading new things, improving their deep skills, which helps them stay relevant in a changing world. For example, Bill Gates continued to read and learn about the different global issues, which shapes his approach to philanthropy and innovation. Next we have is the ethical integration. They believe in doing the right thing, even when it's difficult. Trust and honesty are the foundation of their business. For example, Ratan Tata is respected not just for his business success, but also for his strong ethical values and the concern for the social welfare. Next we have is the strategic thinking. They look at the bigger picture and align their short-term actions with the long-term goals to guide the business. For example, Nandan strategically led the creation of Aadhaar, transforming the digital identity in India. Next we have is self-confidence. Entrepreneurs believe in themselves and their ideas, which helps them face the challenges with courage. For example, Opera turned her difficult childhood into a motivation to build a successful media empire through the confidence and perseverance. Next important aspect is emotional intelligence. Understanding and managing the emotions, both their own and others, help the entrepreneurs lead better and build a strong relationship. For example, Satya Nadella transformed the Microsoft culture by encouraging the empathy and collaboration, leading to the company-wide success. Next we have is generating business ideas. Every successful business starts with a strong idea, but just having an idea is not enough. It is to be carefully planned, in terms of the real world scenario, which includes deep factors, the needs of the customers, staying aware of the trends, and definitely a much more aspects which needs to be in one frame, and that's how we are able to generate the business ideas. Thank you very much.